Hello everyone, my name is Al Parsai. I'm a regulated Canadian immigration consultant and an Ashton College instructor in the field of immigration consulting diploma. And I'm also the author of 88 Tips on Immigration to Canada, a book that is available on Amazon websites. Today I'm going to talk about this question: can international students work in Canada? Let's deal with a scenario first. Liam is a 19-year-old international student from Sweden. While in Canada, he's studying an undergrad program at Brandon University in Manitoba. Liam's parents called him a couple of days ago and told him they are financially in distress. Consequently, they can't fully support him anymore. Liam has to work in Canada to cover part of his expenses. However, he wonders if Canadian laws allow him to work while he is studying as an international student. Well, Canada is a popular country for international students. According to Statistics Canada, more than 350,000 international students study at Canadian colleges and universities. Of course, you have to add thousands of students who come to Canada for English or French languages training, elementary or secondary schools, and short-term programs to this number. While tuition fees and living expenses are relatively moderate in Canada, many students need to work to cover some or all their costs. Nevertheless, does Canadian immigration laws allow them to work in Canada? Let's answer this question. Working without a study permit. Sometimes you may study in Canada without a study permit. For example, programs that are less than 6 months are exempt from a study permit. If you're studying without a study permit, then you may not work in Canada. Of course, if you hold a valid work permit, then you may work. Working while studying at elementary or secondary schools. Well, I hate to deliver bad news, but with one exception, there is no provision under the immigration law that allows working to this group of international students. Whether you are a minor or not, studying at an elementary or secondary program does not qualify you to work in Canada. As I mentioned earlier, there is one exception to this rule. To benefit from this exceptional situation, you need to meet all of the following requirements. You are studying in Quebec. The program is a secondary vocational program leading to a diploma. The study permit is valid, and you work less than 20 hours per week during regular academic sessions, but up to full-time during usual breaks between academic sessions. Practitioners, you may see R186V2. If you meet the previous conditions, you may work on the campus or off campus without a work permit. Working on campus. Finally, some good news. You may work on the campus of your school if you meet all of the following requirements. Your school is a university or college, you hold a valid study permit, you are a full-time student, and the work occurs when you hold a valid study permit. Practitioners, see R186 sub F. Some examples of working on the campus include, but not limited to, teaching assistant, barista or working at the school cafe, administrative assistant or office duties, library attendant, mailroom attendant, research assistant, fitness or personal trainer at the school gym, social media assistant, lifeguard, or the campus tour guide. Healthcare students. Many healthcare students need to work at hospitals or clinics as part of their studies. Luckily, they may work in those facilities, but their work needs to be limited to their training. The regulator of the field also must approve the work. Since regulators usually have broad agreements with the colleges and universities, the approval is not an issue in most cases. Practitioners, see R186 sub P. Working off campus. As an international student, you may work off campus only if you meet all of the following requirements. You are a full-time student, your study permit is valid, the school is a designated learning institution, and you are taking a post-secondary professional, academic, or vocational program. You may work full-time during regular school breaks, for example, the winter break. However, you may only work up to 20 hours per week during regular academic sessions. Practitioners, see R186 sub V. Working after completing studies. Imagine you have completed your studies. Can you continue working in Canada? The answer is yes, under one of the following circumstances. 1. Transitional situation. You have completed your studies, your study permit is still valid, you have applied for a work permit, and the officer has not made a final decision on your work permit application. Practitioners, CR 186 sub W. 2. Postgraduate work permit. You hold a valid PGWP. Practitioners, CR 205 C2. Family members of international students. Spouses or common law partners of international students may apply for an open work permit. However, they may only apply if the international student holds a valid study permit and engages in full-time studies at one of the following designated learning institutions: colleges, universities, a public post-secondary institution, a secondary institution in Quebec offering a vocational program, publicly funded trade or technical schools, or private institutions authorized by provincial statute to confer degrees, such as private career colleges in Ontario. Practitioners, see LMI exemption code C42. Remember, working without a work permit is not an option for spouses or common law partners. The duration of work permit for the spouses typically matches the validity of the study permit for the international student. Destitute students. Sometimes a significant unforeseen incident affects the financial status of an international student. For example, they may lose their parents or whoever pays for their expenses. Another example is an earthquake or flood back home that makes it impossible for their family members to support them. Luckily, in these situations, the international student may apply for a temporary open work permit. Practitioners, CR 208 sub A. And that's all different scenarios regarding working in Canada as an international student. If you need help about immigration or visa to Canada, we in fact at Parsai Immigration Services offer consultation and representation in several areas. We've had clients from 35 different countries so far. You may reach us via our website www.settler.ca, our phone 416-901-9115, or our email address info@settler.ca. I initially published and wrote this article and published it on settler.ca/English/students-work-in-Canada. Thank you for watching this video.